Well, good afternoon or almost afternoon for our listeners that are here in Atlanta. So we want to welcome you. So I have back in the studio, Leonard again. I twisted his arm. I said, "You can't leave just yet. Let's talk about your regular business because
Yes,
one thing about your regular business, it also helps to fund our nonprofit. So
that's
we
correct.
always like to put
That's correct.
emphasis on our profitable business. So tell our viewers who you are, what you do, and who you serve.
I'm Leonard Abbott. I am the owner and administrator of It's Cool to Care. We are a licensed home care provider here in the state of Georgia, and we provide home care services to seniors and those with disabilities. We have licensed CNAs and caregivers who come out to your home and help your loved one age in place. So, yeah.
I love that name. Now, how did you come up with that name? Simple and just easy. What was the thought behind that?
Well, to be unique,
Yeah.
and what we wanted to do, what an idea that I had. I'll tell you a quick story,
Hmm.
Pete. I was actually taking this my CNA class,
Hmm.
and I decided to take my CNA class because uh, kind of branching off of my nonprofit, our experience working in long term care.
Hmm.
My previous professional experience is in sales and retail. I was a business advisor for Sky Zone, which is one of
Yep.
the largest
I,
trampoline
I
company in the
know it.
world. I was a general manager for Best Buy, a Fortune 500 company. So I come from a background of a high level sales operations
Hmm.
experience. And so when I got into the healthcare and volunteering and working in the nursing homes and stuff, I looked at an opportunity to really enhance the leadership within healthcare. So I went back and got my master's in healthcare administration,
Hmm.
and I said, okay, I want to be in charge of leading the way on how service is delivered to seniors because I
Hmm.
just felt like it wasn't being executed like it could be, the level of service, the
Hmm.
quality of service being given to our seniors. And so I said I wanted to develop, I wanted to do that. So I'm doing that through the nonprofit, but I also too wanted to get into home care because as we know with COVID-19 and
Hmm.
different occasions that happen, it was hard for our older adults to get healthcare services outside of their homes.
Yep.
And then obviously with the influx of the baby boomer population and things of that nature, there's just not going to be enough support where they can go into facilities and things of that nature. So I said, okay, let me go ahead and develop this company that can really put a true emphasis on caring for our older adults in their homes, but actually, not just doing it on a regular basis like some home care agencies may do when you have someone that comes out and
Hmm.
they're not, they may not be in a uniform. They all come in different types of uniforms. They
Yep.
may not have a special curriculum set up or a care plan set up for the potential client to just come and feed them and sit and relax. I said, no, we're going to be cool and unique about what we do.
Hmm.
So what we're going to do is we're going to work with families. We're going to make the interaction fun by developing a care plan that challenges the senior.
Right.
Use an example, we have a member. We call our clients members, so to speak. So we
Hmm.
had a member of ours that she was stayed in an independent community,
Hmm.
actually out in Canton, and she loved to do the music program that was there, but she didn't really like the physical therapy. So we worked
Hmm.
with the daughter. We developed a care plan along with her physical therapist to get her more engaged in doing the activities and exercises. Maybe a week or so, I get a text message from the daughter, and she said, "Hey, mom is loving the caregiver, and I can't believe it. She's been doing physical therapy this week, and this is the first time she's done it in months." So we try to make it fun. We work with the families, and
Right.
that's what makes us cool. Is that aspect of being unique and different, and bringing a different energy to healthcare, particularly home care.
Dang, I love that. I mean, I hear different names of businesses, and being a former golfer, I would ask somebody like what they did, and like 10 minutes later, I don't know what the heck they did.
Yeah,
Because it's so complicated that my brain can't function. I
yeah,
mean, can't process it. So I love the simplicity of it and what it communicates, and I think it's very
yeah.
evident that well thought out and put together. So when you were going, before you got your master's, so you're looking to make a change. What prompted that, like, that you decided to go that route?
Well, to be quite frank with you, I got tired of seeing seniors get neglected. Volunteering in various nursing homes or senior communities, there are a lot of them that are not getting visitations. There are a lot of them that are not getting the proper care. You even have some that are on hospice, for instance, that may get a visit by a nurse, and the nurse is just doing their job. It's no shade thrown to the nurse, but they're just doing their job. However, once vitals are taken or wounds are cared for, or there's maybe some physical therapy or occupational therapy that's done for maybe 30 to 45 minutes max, the next 23 and a half hours, or let's say just 23 hours of that individual's life is most of the time left isolated, alone. And I experienced and seen it, and I heard the story so much. I work in the industry, and I just got tired of it. And so again, kind of going back to what I said earlier, I wanted to be in control of how the service is delivered. I wanted to bring a new energy, a new level of care to geriatrics. And I wanted to start it out with the home care because, again, kind of going back to what I said, a lot of seniors, particularly when you start to get into areas where it's more rural, there's a lack of healthcare services. And even in urban areas where it's overpopulated, seniors are waiting on a long line to get into facilities or to get levels of services because there's just too many people that have already taken up the supply, so to speak, or the services. So I just wanted to, really, change that dynamic and let our seniors know out there that, you have someone to care for you. And, really, I'll tell you a quick story. So I always share this. There's 3 defining moments that got me into my passion of taking care of seniors. The first defining moment was when I was 8 years old, and I'm with it's 13 of us in the house. My great grandfather is staying there with us. Now at this time, my mother and my aunt, because we all stayed together, my cousins and all of us, we would get, directed, me and my cousin, my older cousin, we would get directed to go and feed my my great grandfather. And so I would go in and feed him, and we'll be sitting there trying to talk and engage with him. And the interesting thing about it is that I didn't even, recognize, some of the stuff he was saying. It was like he was blabbering words, and then, he's calling me a name that's not my name. And I'm like, well, what's going on here? I'm like 8, 9 years old, something like that. I'm just a young kid. And we would have to go clean up after him. He would use the restroom in the closet, thinking it's the bathroom and stuff like that. And so later on down the line, I found out he had Alzheimer's. All right, so I'm taking care as a young kid, taking care of my great grandfather. And just, it's strange to me, what is going on with him? Why is he calling me some guy's name it's not me, it's not my name, right? So that was the first moment. The second moment was when I was in college. I was a co-founder of an organization called Brothers for Change. It was a male mentor organization that we started at Randolph-Macon College in Virginia.
What?
Yeah.
You went to Randolph-Macon?
Randolph-Macon College.
I'm Richmond. I'm from Richmond. Yeah.
So we're Virginians.
Yeah.
I'm born in Norfolk, Virginia.
Oh, gosh. I traveled Norfolk so many times.
So there we go, Pete. So we got something in common. So yes. So I went to Randolph-Macon in Ashland, Virginia, graduated with a bachelor's degree in 2006. So at any rate, we had this organization did community work. Yeah. And part of that community work was a program we had called winterizing homes. And we would winterize homes for seniors. And we got together, we would clean out the gutter, seal up windows and stuff just to keep the heat insulated in the homes during the wintertime. So that's the second moment. The third moment was what we talked about on our previous podcast is my nonprofit organization, One Change at a Time. We get a call from a nursing home for volunteering. We go in to volunteer. Thing is going to be one occasion, and we recognize that there's a huge opportunity here to connect youth with seniors, and we developed a program, Bridging Generations. And so, from that standpoint, I really was so amped up. I said, okay, these dots are connecting, right? God is connecting these dots in my life from when I was a young kid, having to take care of my great grandfather with Alzheimer's, not even knowing what I was dealing with, to now, as I'm getting older, I'm in this environment dealing with older adults who have these same cognitive issues as my great grandfather, and now I'm passionate to care for them. So those are the defining moments.
Dang, yeah, I mean, it's good to hear what kind of drives us to do what we're doing. And it's always, and I've heard similar, like taking care of an aging parent, a grandparent or a grandmom, and it's how you for the first time see that at the end of life what it's like. I mean, it's like you never know until you're in the shoes of somebody that is experiencing it firsthand. You can't talk about it, you can't read about it, you got to experience it.
That's right.
And once you experience it can change you. Like it obviously changed you to spur a different pathway that now you're not only serving the youth and helping bridge and empower the youth to help seniors, you're out there in the marketplace providing the quality of service that you feel you want to deliver to our seniors. And so that's really cool. So what would you say, like, it's not easy doing your own business. I mean, it's like, it'll test every ounce of who you are. So let's go there. I want to know. Like, I want to hear, like, those days when everything's gone south and it's like, the phones aren't ringing, the help's saying I'm going to go somewhere else. I mean, it's like total chaos. How do you maintain the mindset and the proper, because you're running it. You can't be like, well, I'm out of here, I'm going back to do what I do. So what do you do? How do you handle that?
Faith in the plan. And I think a little bit of experience helps with that. I've over the course of my years, I've developed ideas of businesses and things of that nature. Some have stayed around, some haven't, right? So that's the experience. But I think faith in the plan. I'm a firm believer in God, and I'm a firm believer in myself.
Yes,
because you have to have belief in yourself as well.
Totally agree.
So
on both fronts,
right, and that belief in yourself comes with the experience and taking the necessary steps to prepare yourself for whatever your plan's going to be.
Yep.
So example for me is I knew, okay, cool. If I'm going to get into this healthcare world and change it, I had the experience already in leadership because I was a general manager of a $40 million Best Buy location. I was a regional advisor for the largest trampoline franchise in the world, and I had 17 locations I was advising and supporting at one time. So I've led large groups of people. I founded this nonprofit organization that has, over hundreds of volunteers who've come through and volunteered with our program over the years. And we've served, probably thousands of people, through the various programs we've done over the past 10 years or so. And so that experience has equipped me. But I also, too, said, okay, although I have a degree in accounting and I have this leadership experience, I'm getting into healthcare. I understand business, but I need to understand healthcare business, right? So I went back and got my master's and said, let me go ahead and get my master's in healthcare administration. If I want to step in this thing, I got to do it for real. I got to take on this debt, take on this risk, but educate myself and prepare myself for the moment. So having that faith in yourself, and then also to having a plan in place. I had this idea of brewing, maybe about a year and a half before it kicked off. So I already had an idea. I told you about how I thought of the name and stuff when I was in my CNA class.
Right.
And I was drawing the logo out while I was in my CNA class. I still have the notebook to this day, very day, with the list of the actual services we're going to provide. The mission statement halfway written out, the logo scribbled in black ink as I'm listening to our CNA instructor. And I think that was one of the days I may have just dozed off into the twilight zone for a second, but I still passed. I did it amazing in the class. I have my CNA license. I'm also to a licensed med tech. So, so anyway, But yeah, I was just writing these things down. I still have the notebook, and I drew the logo, and then I sent the logo to our a marketing designer that works with us, and she did an amazing job making it come to
Right.
life. Right. So
Yeah.
so just having that faith and then that plan and writing things down is big for me. Some people
Mhm.
use their phones. I still use my phone for a lot of notes too, but I write a lot down. I have a book that I just write goals down. I write different ideas down.
Really?
And that's how this company started.
Yeah.
I'll bring it one day and show you literally.
No, I'm a firm believer. I journal every day. I'm writing because I go to the gym between 4:30 and 5.
Mhm.
And I have a routine, and it's based on keeping the plumbing working.
Yeah.
So I do the same thing, because when I was at Shepherd, I was there for 39 days. Well, before I got there, my plumbing wasn't working. So it was either 12 or 14 days.
Mhm.
And I remember that day, when people say that, like, uh, us guys, we don't know and understand the pain of a birth. I do,
Mhm.
because when you have 14 days of backed up sewage in your
Mm.
system, it was Super Bowl Sunday a couple years ago, and it was the best Super Bowl. I was in such pain, I couldn't see. And so
Wow.
I know what it's like, and I'll tell this story because it's hilarious. I'm sitting at Shepherd, and I just gotten in there like the next day, and the lady walks in, the nurse, and I'm smiling from ear to ear, and she goes, "You're happy today?" I said, "Well, my happiness is not going to be your happiness." And she goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, let's just say 12 days is in my diaper." And
Oh.
I said, "I'm apologizing in advance for it." And she goes, "Oh, shoot." I said, "We do that all the time. It's no big deal." And I'm thinking like a guy. I
Yeah.
got a diaper on for
Yeah.
one. And
Yeah.
now I've loaded the thing up, and it's got 12 days of stuff in it.
Oh,
But
God.
I felt the best I've felt in ages, because it kept moving. And movement is so important.
Yes, it
And
is.
so
It is.
I think what I don't know why I got on that.
Yeah.
What was our thing?
Well, we were just talking. We were just basically talking about plans and talk about.
Oh yeah, I know what it is.
Mhm.
So I journal every
Yeah.
day, and I write and write and write and write and write, because when you get those thoughts, you have to capture them, because that thought yesterday could come to fruition a month from now, 6 months from now. So I'm a firm believer in too, and I'm a geek when it comes to how I plan the days,
Yeah.
because it's beneficial to get the thoughts from here onto your paper.
Yes.
And
Yes.
even though we're in a digital world, and
Yes.
hey, I love my iPad.
Yeah.
I mean, not my iPad, my Apple Notes, and I
Yeah.
speak into it,
Yeah.
but I still write.
Yes.
So tell me, like, who have you kind of been influenced by? Like, do you have a favorite person that, or two or three, that has helped shape your thinking? Because being in business your own self is hard.
Oh, it's definitely hard. I will first have to start with my mother.
Okay.
And the reason being is because my mother took on the challenge of taking care of three kids
Mhm.
when her husband, her first husband, my father,
Mhm.
had his struggles, and she showed perseverance.
Mhm.
She showed a level of not quitting,
Mhm.
and she allowed me, because it's me. I'm the oldest, and then I have two sisters who are younger than me.
Mhm.
But she allowed me as a young man at that time to know what it is to be a young man. She held me accountable, but she also to allowed me to make the mistakes. If I wasn't going to listen, okay, you make the mistakes. You have to learn how to deal with those mistakes. At the same time, still providing that nurturing and that support. And so she really
Hmm.
is a key figure in my life, and
Right.
someone I look to. And then I really get a lot of my inspiration through just my interactions with various different people. And a lot of it's funny because a lot of what I do through my nonprofit and obviously through my home care agency is working with seniors and older adults.
Hmm.
And as a young kid, as I look back on it now, I used to love hanging around older adults
Right.
and listening to the certain phrases they would
Right.
say. I had a uncle, my uncle Paul, who's passed away, maybe almost a couple of years ago now,
Hmm.
about a year or so ago, or a couple of years ago. Anyway, he had a saying, and he was a mechanic. He worked on cars, and he was a funny guy, right? And he had this saying, "You only got one life to live." He would always say, "You only got one life to live," and that stuck with me. My grandmother had a friend of hers. He's basically like my grandfather,
Hmm.
but a friend of hers been with her for a long time. His name was Mr. Bobby, and I would just sit on the porch as a kid and listen to him. I watch him go to work
Hmm.
every day. This man would go to work. He was a carpenter, so he
Hmm.
worked on homes and did construction and all of that. And where I was from in Virginia, I was in Chesapeake, Virginia at this
Yeah.
time. I would see him get up, as I'm getting up for school, he's getting up and whatnot. There's 13 of us in this one house, by the way. And we
Hmm.
had how many bedrooms? I think three bedrooms. So
Oh,
one bathroom,
yeah.
right?
Oh my
Yeah, and
gosh.
I'm seeing him get up, right? And he's getting in the truck, they get in the pickup truck,
Yeah.
him and a few other guys. And he's coming home, and I'm seeing this consistent thing every day. And this is
Right.
an old man, may not, I think he was in the military for a little bit, but didn't have a lot of, say formal, high level education or,
Hmm.
but he worked hard. He took care of my grandmother. And that consistency, that work ethic, I sat back and watched as a little kid and
Right.
admired that. So my inspiration, my mother being primary, really comes from my interactions typically
Yeah.
around older, wiser people and just watching, so to speak, individuals. Of course, there's athletes and stuff that, because I was a football player all my life, I went to Randolph-Macon and played football
Okay.
there as well.
Yeah.
And so there's certain athletes that have leadership traits that I look into, like a Tom Brady. I just love that
Hmm.
toughness from Tom.
Yeah.
Yes, he's a winner, but he's a winner for a reason. Kobe Bryant, when he was here, that
Yes.
fight, that tenacity. The ones that win and they don't, it's not, okay, I got a ring and now I can just coast it. No, the ones that want to go back and get the next one, get
Yes.
the next one.
Yes.
See, I get inspired by that. So
I totally
those,
agree
it's
with
just
you.
it's just a gumbo pot of where my inspiration comes from.
Yeah. I love that. I study, like you just said, both Kobe and Tom Brady.
Yeah.
The mindset of of people that achieve that level is just incredible. I've listened to so many interviews, and you think that somebody gets that level, it's an easy path. You just see the end results. So you go, man, but when you understand the dedication, the hours, they just keep working at it. Because you're right. You get that ring, you think, okay, I've got my championship ring. But then they're saying, okay, next. And it's like, okay. And they set their mind to continue to get better and better and better and better. And it's not that they have anything internally that they want. It's just the drive that they have to our human potential is unlimited. And it's like if we don't even know what we're capable of doing until somebody changes a belief system. And I'd always be curious, like, how did a person develop that belief system to keep striving, striving? And it's good because to accept nothing less than the best is inspiring because we're talking about those two.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow.
Yeah.
And it's like they inspire others.
Yeah.
So if you know that you can do remember, Clarissa, I think we saw her down there.
Uh-huh.
I go to the gym every morning. I haven't missed. I had COVID and I banged my ribs, fell down. I was out for a couple of weeks. I have not missed in well over a year. Every single day, 7 days a week. I see her Monday through Friday because I'm the only one down there.
Uh-huh.
Nobody's watching her. Nobody.
Uh-huh.
And she's working like unbelievable. Her work ethic
Uh-huh.
is incredible. Because a lot of us will just, nobody's watching, so I'll just do this a little bit. But no, when you have the mindset of people of that level, they don't care who's watching. They have a level of excellence that they're going to continue to get better.
It's character.
And it is character. It is absolutely character.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful because what you said about teaching youth to have that mindset, because once they get it, like when you hear the stories of great athletes, you find little bits of nuggets of how things shaped them,
Yeah.
and it shaped the way they thought.
Yeah.
And then they just kept working and working, even though it was tough.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll all say, like, there's no easy path.
Yeah.
I mean, anything worth achieving is worth working your butt off for.
Yeah. But even if you think about people, not even just athletes, if you think about business owners, if you think about people who establish these large companies we use now, like Amazon, Elon Musk with Tesla, or if you think about Warren Buffett, he's finding, I watch these documentaries and old presidents, folks that have, went for presidency once, didn't get elected, and kept going for. I mean, it's just like you said, consistency, persistence, determination, all those things build character. So whether it's in education, whether it's in politics, whether it's in sports, it doesn't matter, whether it's just in business, it's all about that consistency, that passion, that drive, that character, those are character builders, and that discipline as well too, that helps you win.
Man, you know what I think too? It must have something to do with Virginia. I traveled Chesapeake, Norfolk. I had buddies that went to Randolph-Macon, so there's a little gap there in our age, but but they're still there. Oh yeah, it's like Ashland, Virginia. Oh yeah.
So what's up, RMC Yellow
I know. Yeah, I ran into a guy at my church, and I don't know how it came up, and he mentioned Randolph-Macon, and I was going, what? Randolph-Macon? And so we started talking, but yeah, certain things are just incredible when you see, like, I don't know, we were getting off, but really it is the excellence that even transfers into what you're doing.
Yes.
When you study successful people, what is it? Success leaves clues.
Ooh.
And so when you see these things and you implement them into your life, and all of a sudden you're going, wow, that's cool. Yeah. It's like the next obstacle that comes on, and you just go next.
Yeah.
It's like nothing is going to phase you because you're used to overcoming them. You're used to plowing forward. So it's cool.
That's exactly.
And I want to be respectful of your time. So I want you to tell me, while you're talking, I went to the wrong banner here. Tell our viewers how they can get a hold of you.
Okay.
Let me see. I think that's
yes.
Okay. Tell our viewers how they can get a hold of you, and then they can also see it on the screen.
Yes. So you can get a hold of us by contacting 706 It's Cool. That's 706-487-2665. You can also reach us at info@itscooltocare.org. You can go to www.itscool2care.org, just like you see on the screen there. And you can learn more about our services. We are a price transparent home care agency. So you can actually see the price of the services we offer right on our website. So we're not one of these companies that blindside you with, invoices that throw out different things you haven't seen before, didn't negotiate. So we're transparent with that, but you get an opportunity to learn about our services. There's a bio about me, so you can learn more about me and my passion and purpose behind starting the company. You can find us on all social media platforms at It's Cool to Care, Facebook, Instagram. We're going to just keep building up content. And you can just find us in these communities because, I'm up and down 515 or 575, down 75, a part of the Cobb and Cherokee niche where you and I had met. So we're just constantly out there networking, building relationships, but you can definitely reach us there.
That is awesome. And all my Virginia viewers, okay, this is to my Virginia viewers. You share this video.
Please.
Okay, we got to support our Virginia people.
Yes.
Okay, so get this out to people that, and he has the coolest name. So you can't say you forgot his name because
Right.
you're not going to forget it. So get this out to share this. Come on, help us out. Get this out to people that don't know that Leonard is out there. Let's close the gap of the well-kept secret type thing.
Yeah.
So as we close down, tell our viewers, I want you to share what would be the one thing you would want our viewers to take home from our time on this podcast, besides Tom Brady and Kobe Bryant.
Besides Tom Brady and Kobe Bryant, very simple. It's cool to care. I want them to take home it's cool to care because we are the coolest care and we provide the coolest care to seniors in their home. So I want them to just take away that it's cool to care.
Awesome. I want to thank you for being our guest on Aging in Place. Thanks, Leonard.
Yep.
Appreciate you.